Yeah. Cheers. Cheers, my man.
Must be roasting.
Aye, hot as.
Hot as.
Lovely. So, on this podcast, we're going to talk about how to optimise your health as a young man in today's society. We've got a couple of talking points from training, nutrition, sleep, time outdoors, social connection, fulfilling work, alcohol and drug use, and just general excitement in life. So
I like it.
these are the points we're going to jump into. But first of all,
I think we're going to have some good value because I'm 26 and you're 31 now. So
32. I thought you were 27.
27 in a week, but we're in that kind of periphery age range with a 5-year difference, and we have different, walks of life, different wee nuances that we can share with each other, and share with you guys. Ian's a little bit older, I'm a bit younger, different strokes for different blocks, so we'll be able to unpack a few things that are working really well for me and him, and hopefully provide you boys some value.
Yeah, at different points in life, but much of this stuff will be valuable no matter where you are, whether you're 21 or whether you're in your 40s. It's all just kind of general principle based stuff we're going to jump into.
Yep.
And the reason I've kind of framed it around today's society is because there's just so many distractions today, whether that's social media, just screen time, drinking, drug use. Just feel people are highly distracted right now, and feeling generally quite unfulfilled and low energy, low vibration in life. And we can maybe offer a few wee tips and tricks. But first of all, I want to just ask you, because we're in Dubai right now, and I just landed yesterday. I'm on a kind of wee working holiday to visit Lewis and another couple of friends of mine. But I just want to get your insight on what's it been like living in Dubai for the past month, I suppose, from moving from the UK.
You know what, I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. It's warm all the time, the people are great, you can access anything you want anytime you want. You know what, the cost of living is not bad at all, to be honest, if you know where to shop. Yeah, it's just really bad. I wish I had stayed in Glasgow, man. No, to be honest, gyms are incredible, networking opportunities incredible. It's tax-free over here, which is incredible. So if you're running an online business, whatever field that may be, maybe social media marketing, SMMA, personal training, online coaching, anything you're doing, setting up a business here will save you a fuck ton of money over time, which is nice. The time difference is incredible as well. If I wake up at 4 a.m, that's midnight for the guys in the UK. So wake up, have all this time to myself to work on me. I call it me work.
Yeah.
Just building myself, creating that mindset for the day, clearing a lot of fluff work tasks. So when the day actually kicks off, I've just got so much more time to be focused on the needle moving things inside a business. So it's just been great so far, man. Yeah,
it's class. I've only been here for one day, but got up at 5 this morning, went to the gym bright and early with Lewis, went round to his for breakfast, and now we're here at mine filming a podcast, and it's only 10:30, which means it's 6:30 in the UK.
Yeah.
So after this, I'm going to start getting back to all my client messages and stuff, and just touching base with everyone, and it's the day's not even began and we've already done so much.
Yeah, no, it's before people even scratch their arse in the UK, it's we've lived half a day, which is very, very nice.
Yeah, that is probably the biggest benefit of being out here, to be honest. It's actually wild. You really feel like you're ahead of it.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back to Scotland and be it's gonna feel rubbish. But yeah, man,
let's dive in.
We can jump into some of this stuff. So how to optimise your health as a young man in today's society. There's obviously a bunch of stuff we can go into, but I guess first of all we can touch upon training. And I guess let's just kind of talk about what we do, because there's no point in kind of just speculating about the wider
what other people are doing.
The wider part of it.
Them.
Yeah, we only really know what we do and what works for us, and we've kind of built that over the years. We have our own different approaches, but you're training right now. What is it looking like and why?
So I'm all about the frequency of the training. Like I do a mini workout. The first thing I do in the morning is like the burpees, which is, it's not a workout, but it's like it tonics the mind, tonics the body. I always believe like you can't think your way into positive action, you have to act your way into positive thinking. So in the morning when you're like super fatigued and tired, no one wakes up like ready to go. Like no one does. So doing those burpees, like even if it's 5 push-ups, 10 squats, or 10 burpees, 20 burpees, whatever it may be, it's just going to tonic you straight away. Blood's pumping, lungs are winded, you're like, your breathing's all up, and you're like, I actually feel like inspired by my own actions this morning. Yeah, and that kind of puts you in a good headspace. So I do that in the morning. Then I'll do a main workout, which will be like 45 minutes of like bodybuilding work, strength work, maybe like a wee 5 to 15 minute conditioning piece at the end, just to kind of, again, heart rate, absolutely blast it, stay fit. And then later on in the evening, if I do have time, you know, I will do another like high volume pump, you know, whether that be doing a 2k run and like 100 push-ups or dips or pull-ups, or I just spread my volume massively. Like I'll end up doing in a week like 16 little workouts, you know, but they're never like long 2-hour slogs where by the end of it you're not even doing it, you're just pushing air, mate. You're not even actually like getting anything from it. But I'm doing these little mini high octane, high output pumps and strength sessions and conditioning workouts that are just keeping me lean, keeping me trim, keeping me feeling good as well. Because every time I do a workout, I feel like inspired by my own actions, and that carries that energy forward into everything else that I do, which I think is just a massive take home from that. Yeah, man, you like to stay active across the day. I think like online coaching, it's a pretty sedentary job. Like you're doing most of it sitting down in front of a screen, just typing away or on calls with clients, stuff like that. So you're like managing your state throughout the day, so you're always on that, you know, high octane, if you want, always keeping that sort of like nice high energy state just by these little mini workouts throughout the day. And I like that. I do like that. I do things a little bit differently. I like to like always start my day off with like a morning walk, like get outdoors like as soon as I possibly can. Like it's over here when you wake up, it's dark, you know, if you're getting up at 5 in the morning. So like for me, the benefits aren't really there of getting that natural light. But when I'm back home in Scotland, I usually wake up at about 7. I'm usually out the door by about 7:30 after a shower, after I hydrate, have some electrolytes, and go for about maybe a half-hour walk, get about 3 to 4k steps in first thing, and then I'm straight into work after that. And like I've tried it before where I woke up and just started work straight away, and the energy you have, it just isn't the same than if you were to go out and get some steps in, get some fresh air. Like you're doing the same thing with movement. That's all just state management. You're just managing your state. You're getting into a higher state of energy, and like trust me, like you're going to be able to deliver whatever you're doing to a much higher standard. Like you're setting yourself up to just feel good, and if you feel good, you're gonna work better. You're gonna be able to you know, communicate with your clients better, project that good energy on other people. Yeah, exactly. You have to look after yourself before you can look after other people, so to speak. You know what I mean? Filling your own cup, that's like just the first step. Just filling your own cup a little bit before you kind of give back to other people. Self-service, man. Self-service, mate. Self-service. That's what it's all about. Oil check. Oil check, yeah. An oil check in jiu-jitsu is when you stick your finger up your opponent's ass. So that's what I'm thinking about. Feels like I do that in the morning to myself to fucking get myself ready for the day. Definitely do after a few coffees. I think like a lot of guys get it backwards. They think I don't have the time, the energy for doing these things that are not only going to give them the time and the space back, but it's like, yeah, but I don't have time to go walk in the morning, don't have time to do this. But it's not about the time. It's about like you actually get more time back in your day, more peace, more white space when you're actually creating these little pockets of like energy generating activities. Because the better you manage your energy, the more productive you are, therefore you'll get more time back because you get shit done faster. And all these guys are like, yeah, I won't be able to go walk, I start at 9 in the morning. It's like, bro, wake up at fucking 6. You could train, you could do 5k steps, you could do a fucking half marathon in that time. Yeah, I mean, if your commute is like 2 hours 45 minutes, like fair enough,
probably move house. But you know, like get up half an hour earlier, get outside for 20 minutes. Trust me, it's going to change the game for you. If you feel you're showing up at work with low energy, that's one of the best things you can do. Like for your circadian rhythm as well, your circadian clock, you're going to end up sleeping better because you're going to be releasing hormones at the right time by getting a bit of daylight first thing. You know, in the winter, maybe you're not getting too much daylight, but even on an overcast day, like the benefits are still there from the sunlight and from setting your circadian clock. Like, you know, indoor lights, they don't quite do the same thing
like
for your hormones.
Man.
Yeah.
Anything synthetic is going to have a negative response over time.
Yeah, exactly.
Know? Like I've fucking taken SARMs and that's like a synthetic steroid and it fucked me. You know, absolutely.
Your arms looked good for a couple of weeks though.
I just became like super watery and then I got my bloods done and they were like well off.
Oh man. Yeah.
So don't take SARMs. Tell you that.
Don't do that.
Tell all of my clients don't do it because they're like in a younger age group. A good chunk of them are like, yeah, what's the deal with these SARMs things? I'm like, yeah, do not. And I just tell them the whole story about like I gained 10 kilo in like a fortnight and I got strong temporarily, but once I came off them I was just like a deflated mess for like 3 months. It took me like 3-4 months to actually repair that.
Yeah.
And get my body back to like where it is now. And like a healthy tight spot that's lean, that's athletic, I don't look like a brick anymore.
Well, you've tried it, mate. You were the guinea pig for SARMs in the family, and like, not gonna lie, you walked in one day to a family dinner when he was on these things, and I was just like, what the fuck, man? I need to measure your arms right now, because we've always had like similar size like arms just from like natural training, and he just walked in one day, and I was like, his arms are literally 2 inches bigger. What the fuck is going on? And I got the measuring tape out, and they genuinely were like they're 17s or
17
something. Like we're
arms.
usually sitting about 15.5s. We're not fucking massive guys, but like, you know, like 17s. It was like a noticeable difference. Like right away, I was like, "Come here, mate. I need to measure you up.
check what's going on here, man." It's like,
I was like, "What's been happening?" And it's like, yeah. So yeah, they work, but the negatives. You know the negatives.
Yeah, you feel like they cause all this like snoring and neck stress, and
you like probably got like sleep apnea. Your neck probably just swell up. You're like
you carry all this fluid retention because it's like an oral as well, so it pulls all the water into your gut to help try like assimilate the supplement. So you get like a really bloated, distended gut, and you just feel like very thick and heavy. So stay away, boys.
You did look big though, so if you don't care about your health and you just want to,
you kind of look big.
If you want to just look big, it was like a growth hormone secretagogue or something, wasn't it? So like your appetite was absolutely wild, so you were just munching, and you'd put on some serious mass in some seriously low amount of time, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I was eating like 5,000 calories without it touching the side.
Yeah.
It was actually like, it was uncontrollable hunger.
Yep.
It was actually just like concerning. Like a box of cereal a day, a kilo of yogurt a day, a full pineapple a day, with
a
like
hammock of cake,
literally like a pallet of eggs,
pallet of cheese.
Like ridiculous.
That's crazy. At least you're like open about it and stuff like that. Because even at the time you were taking them, I seen you put out a YouTube video and like explaining what you were doing. And I think a lot of fitness influencers, personal trainers will keep people in the dark.
Bro, like everyone's on fucking gear these days and don't talk about it, right? And it's like they display this aesthetic, amazing, hypothetical outcome that potentially their client Gary, 35, who works in finance, who's like fucked and overwhelmed, can achieve this like 6% body fat, fucking triangular deltoid physique. It's like these guys are all on fucking like test and Masteron and fucking Anavar and clenbuterol to like stay in this like insane position year round, and they're frying their internals, but they'll coach you and be like, yeah, you can achieve this because I've achieved this naturally, when in reality it's just a complete fucking false fallacy. It's just they're pulling the wool over your eyes here, boys.
Yeah, we'll get you there in 3 months. Even though they've been training for 20 years and they're taking gear.
Yeah.
So yeah, be careful who you listen to.
Nonsense.
Like obviously, if someone's been open and honest about it, I think that's a completely different thing. But if someone's like being deceptive. They're saying they achieved all this stuff naturally, and they're like, do these 3 shoulder exercises to blow up your delts. It's like, mate, there's only one thing that blew up your delts, man.
It's fucking pinning them.
Exactly. And you can always tell the guys that are on gear have like 3D shoulders, like Death Star deltoids.
Like the side delt is a massive androgen receptor, so that's where you pin the most. And that'll just like, you'll see it cap out more. Like they could wear a t-shirt and that bit will like pop off because there's so much like side delt thickness. It's like redonkulous, man. So you can spot it from a mile away if you're aware. So become aware.
Yeah, exactly. But kind of going back to training, what do you think are maybe a few things someone maybe listening to this could implement? Say if they're not doing a lot right now, they're feeling a little bit overwhelmed with everything. What's a few easy things they could implement into their life on a daily basis, or even just a few times a week, that would just get them winning from a training perspective?
I think the way me and you both started, I think it's the most organic way to start lifting, which is like have a couple of weights in the house, a pull-up bar, and like pepper your environment with things that are now going to elicit that response of like, at least I might just use it.
Yeah.
Because even on an evening, if you're coming home from work and you're a bit gassed and you've got a pull-up bar, you might even just do a bar hang. You might try a couple of reps of a pull-up. You might do some push-ups. If you've got a couple of 10 kilo dumbbells, you might cook your arms for a wee bit. And I think just having that stimulus will have the response, and you get motivated when you start feeling like, oh, I could actually do a full chin up now. And you're like, you know what, I feel confident enough, I might try the gym and I might build into it. But I'd say start super small. If you're going from a 0 to a 5, it's far harder than going from a 5 to a 10. So that kind of an initial 1 to 5 point, when you're getting the momentum behind you, slow and subtle stuff, have it in your room, have it in your house, set yourself a 20-minute timer and just say 20 minutes, music on, tunes that I enjoy. I'll put the fucking air fryer on and cook my dinner, and in the meantime, while that's cooking, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z.
That's burning. You end up doing a 2-hour long chest and arm session.
Rammstein is on, and you're like, you're like looking in the mirror, red light and stuff like that, just like sweating in your own neuroses.
Yeah, that's good, man. I like that. That's how we kind of started. I just had a chin-up bar in my bedroom, had a couple of like cheap York plastic dumbbells, and I would just do, press-ups, chin-ups, bicep curls, some bodyweight squats, and completely ignore my hamstrings, obviously. So I didn't even know they existed. They were behind me. So that's a really good way. Just grease the groove with it. That's a good way to get good at bodyweight stuff as well. And if you set the foundation and you can do like a good amount of push-ups, you can do a good amount of chin-ups, you can do a good amount of bodyweight squats, once you join the gym, like you're going to be in a phenomenal position. The free weights are going to feel a lot better just going straight from knowing how to control your body already. You're going to have that coordination, and like,
that's the word, coordination.
Yeah, going into like a bench press or something when you can already bash out 40 push-ups. It's like, it's going to feel like, this is actually all right. I can progress a lot faster to some decent weights. You're not starting on the 8 kilo dumbbells or something like that. You're not
going to be like a baby giraffe under a squat bar and your knees are like kissing each other on the way down and your back's fucking hunched. So I just with anything, all the stuff we'll probably talk about today is like, just fucking start so small with it. Be so granular on a high level and a low level. Like, the deeper you get into this, you have to again reassess, go back to basics. Like, in reality, the stuff me and Ian have done for probably the last decade, 10 years, has been the same stuff. We've just gotten better with the basics to such a high level and compounded that over time.
Definitely. It's I think a lot of people struggle to fall in love with the process of training. I think taking it at your own pace will allow you to fall in love with it. I think when I started training, I never thought like, I'm gonna get these crazy results in a short space of time. It was all just for like self-development. I just loved the process of it. Loved seeing the ability to get an extra rep on chin-ups, the extra rep on push-ups. Go for a little bit longer in a run. These little things really kept me going in the beginning. Just small wins, and within like a year or two, I was like, wow, like things are different now. Like I've actually built a good amount of strength and muscle, and I can run faster and further. And it, I built the love of it from an organic place.
Yeah, it's like that self-work equates to self-worth, and you can build that confidence through doing these actions. Like, I don't think I would have, obviously I wouldn't be in this space right now, doing coaching, but the gym, the workouts, the training, that allowed me to like back myself. I was like, I can show up every day and do this and like see my body changing, see myself getting stronger. And I started applying that to other aspects of life, like relationships, business, friend groups, social life, communication, everything. It's just take time with it. You want to suck at the start, just keep going, and be the immovable force. Like, be stubborn enough to fucking stay persistent with it, brave enough to start, stubborn enough to see it through, and brave enough to continue,
Yeah, it's just all reps, like just getting that work in over a long period of time, and it's going to compound. It always compounds.
Oh yeah.
It only won't compound if you pull out your investment too early. It's not going to compound. Like, you can't, like, that's just basic investing.
Yeah.
You need to keep it in the stocks and shares ISA for it to compound over the 20 to 30 year period and get that amazing payout in the end. And like, it's the same with training. You can start and stop with it, but like,
I don't know, man.
You can't, obviously you can do it. I'm not saying it's not going to work out for you very well. It needs to be something you're kind of continually doing. Like, even in the times where I class myself as someone who wasn't training, wasn't working out, I still done 3 sessions and I run like every week, non-negotiable. Even when I was like, I'm not really into my fitness right now. I would still, go to the park and do some pull-ups, chin-ups, press-ups, squats, etc. Go for a run, do that a few times a week, and like, that helped maintain things even during the period where I lived down in London, played music for a living, and wasn't really into fitness per se, but I had built habits like years ago that just carried me over that time. So do the work now and build some habits for a good couple of years, and like they'll stick with you. They will stick with you if you're persistent with it.
I think what you said there, non-negotiable. Even like maximum standards, you're training 5 days a week, macros on point, steps on point, sleep on point. Minimum standard, you're still hitting 3 sessions a week, you're hitting a run. You're still being conscious of a protein intake in your diet, because it's like, once you know about protein, you're like, I may as well just try fucking hit that because it's going to hold things a bit steadier. Fats and carbs might be a way to the shop, but you've got this like, your new kind of neutral, your new baseline is so much higher than like someone these days, like standards. Everyone's in a deficit of like personal development. They don't look at a protein target, their movements are terrible, their sleep's off, they don't have any like locus of control over like the simple stuff, and they've not made it non-negotiable to learn. See, when you say to yourself, this is non-negotiable, tracking these macros or training this X amount of times per week, you don't negotiate. It has to be done. Like, you need to make it happen, and that over time, like Ian was saying with the compound interest, that's what's going to pay off. Like, you don't just stop paying money into your stocks and shares. You do it every week or every month or every
X. It comes off automatically. Like, you need to set it up that way, because if you don't set it up that way with like stocks and shares and like investing, like you probably won't do it. One week you're like, oh, maybe I'm having a bad week finances wise. Maybe I'll hold on to that money that I was going to invest. So it's like, it's the same thing. It's like, maybe you're having like a really busy week work-wise, and you're like, oh, I don't want to do my training this week. But you're like, okay, but what's the non-negotiable? What's the amount that you can agree on to do? Maybe, it's that perfectionism attitude that kills people. Like,
if I can't do it all, I won't do it at all.
Yeah, they want to train, 5 to 7 days a week. They think like, if they don't do that, then it's all for nothing. But that's probably what's killing you long term. Like, you need to be adaptable, you need to be flexible. Like, genuinely, like, if you got in for 2 hard, decent training sessions for 45 minutes per week, you could make some amazing results. Like,
or even
no
7
question.
Or even 7 10-minute tonics. Like,
exactly.
Hard tonics, squat, push up, pull up. Just bum.
Imagine you done like 2 sets of 10 pull-ups a day for a week, 140 pull-ups. That's more pull-ups than you'd probably do, even if you were training like training back at the gym. You'd probably just do like 30 pull-ups, so you're already getting like
you're already winning.
You're already getting like 4 times the volume or something. So like that stuff, man, that stuff is crazy. Just like the
people overlook it way too much. You know, like that kind of fear of failure, but I think it's a fear of success as well. People are scared to even fully commit to something, because even if they do amazingly well with it and it's not the expectation that they wanted, then there's like, I've been putting all this work in, so what's the fucking point anyway? And it's almost like the two sides of the coin. Fear of failure is the exact same as fear of success.
Yeah, that's why there's like 8 subjects that we were going to cover, and we've only covered training. It's like, so what happens if you get your training completely down and you do build a little bit of muscle? Like, do you think that's going to like solve every single problem that you have with health, like with your mental health, with like your entire life? No, but it's like one small piece of the jigsaw, and if you put it all together, then you're going to be like a much more balanced, happy individual. You're content. You're going to feel very, very much more chilled in your body and your day-to-day life if you can get all of the elements down to a decent level.
Yeah, I think when you're exposing yourself to like personal development and working on you become so much more stress resilient. You just like all the little nuances in life that quite frankly are stressing you guys right now, they just stop mattering, because you're like, well, I'm controlling my training, my eating, my sleep, my time outdoors. See if all of that, like its basic human needs, are met, you will generally have a sense of like equilibrium. You'll be at peace to some extent, which will be a high frequency anyway, opposed to just letting yourself be like externally dictated by life. Like that's what it was in today's society. Like Ian said, there's a lot of distractions, a lot of noise, a lot of people that are pulling your attention away. And rather than having a straight fucking horizontal run at this, just for controlling these 8 things that we're speaking about, you guys are meandering like this every fucking week or every single day, every single month, and that's just wasting all this energy on a shit that doesn't really matter.
Yeah, having the non-negotiable habits can help just bring you back to baseline during those incredibly stressful weeks and days. It's like, you know, you have the worst day of your life, let's say, but got a decent training session, and so wasn't all that bad, you know.
Crushed the motherfucking workout.
still made it to the gym. Still got a few pull-ups and some bench press. Wasn't too bad a day. You know, if you can still get a training session in, still get a run in, you can still go to bed at the end of the day and say, you know, I still done something for me, and I still tried to get ahead, even if a few other things in life are crashing down around you. You can still rest on the fact that you're looking after yourself, which is like, you know, that's one thing you can really control.
That's why I train first thing in the morning.
Yeah,
it's like this massive rock has shifted. Like, holy fuck, it's like I'm Jesus in the cave and the fucking stone has just been pulled off, and I can finally come out into the light. Like it's like the sacrificial lamb or something. You're doing the hard thing first, eating the frog. You nail that training session. Despite what happens for the rest of the day, you don't really have the kind of neurological energy to give a fuck, because you've like smoked all that stuff in the gym. So you're like a much more like peaceful mindset, I think, and you can just like operate and focus on like the other stuff that's going to grow other aspects of your life. But yeah, man, train first thing in the morning, I think, is like, if you get any of this stuff we're talking about, I'd say to any of the guys, make it a first thing in the morning. And training looks like walking, cardio, weights, a fucking class. Do what the fuck you need to do, but just elevate your energy and state in the morning for the workout.
Yeah, morning state shift is essential. Don't just roll out of bed and crack into work. You'll be reactive and
triggery.
Yeah, you'll be tired. You won't be energized. You won't have set yourself up. You won't have switched into a state which could be better than the one you're in. So it's like, yeah, taking that time, really, really cool, really, really important, in my opinion. I don't even know how long we went into covering training. That's probably been about an hour.
Yeah,
I
don't think we should do the other 8, because we could be here all day, and I've got to go for a call in a bit.
Yeah, we'll call it there today, but we've also got the other 7 to jump into. Maybe we'll do a podcast every day that I'm here in Dubai, and we'll cover all 8. Maybe
mini series for you guys.
Maybe we'll do that, but yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Nice one.
Boom. See you in the next one, boys.